Hello all, thank you so much for visiting us today. I am your host, Gabriel Grimes, where we learn here on this beautiful channel how to cook and why cooking is so much fun. In our previous video, I asked everyone to go ahead and give me some suggestions on what I should cook, and Patrick from Patty Joe Cooking told us that I should make some curry, like a chicken curry. And I found out that on my list of recipes that I've already posted, I already have the curry. So curry is probably out, but I started thinking, why not make a chili? Delicious chili. Now, maybe not down under because right now it's warm over there, and over here it's nice and cold because we're coming into October. Chili is the best time of this is the best meal or the best time of the year to make this meal. So I hope you stick around, watch this video, tell me what you think about it. Make sure you leave your comments below. Make sure you subscribe, give me a big thumbs up, and tell me what you think, all right? So now, without any further ado, let's jump into the recipe and this chili.
Oh, beautiful. So our recipe calls for the following ingredients: tomatoes, guajillo peppers, dried jalapeños, serrano and habanero for heat, chipotle for smokiness, cumin, coriander, and an onion. Oh, and garlic, of course. All right, let's go ahead and cut that onion up. We need to make sure that it is nice and diced, okay? Okay, so we have two different types of chilies. No, actually we have multiple different types of chilies. But there are those chilies that are dry, and then we have chilies that are just green, chilies. And so what we're going to do is cut them into smaller pieces. Some of them we're going to roast in a skillet, and others we're going to saute. You'll see what I mean. All right, so for the meat, we're going to be using pork. And this is pork shoulder cut into smaller strips. I'm gonna take this, about a kilo worth of it, and I'm gonna cut it into small bite-sized pieces so it sautés better and it mixes well with the chili. Now, you can use beef if you like, you can use chicken if you like. This is just my preference for this chili. I think it's gonna be amazing. You just wait and see. Okay, so for this technique, we're going to dry the meat, and by doing that we take all those small little pieces, put it on a tray and separate them out and add salt to them. Leave it for about 20 to 30 minutes there in the open, and that will help the salt pull the water or the moisture from the pork. Now for the dried peppers, we're gonna go ahead and saute these or roast them in a skillet. Now the skillet is dry, there's no oil or anything in it, and we roast it at a medium-high heat until it becomes until you can start smelling the chili. We don't want it to smoke. While the chilies are roasting on the skillet, we're going to go ahead and prepare the tomatoes by cutting an X in them, because we're going to parboil them to take the skin off. By cutting the X on them, it allows the skin to come off really easily at the end of the boil. All right, now it's time to get the onions ready. I'm going to saute them in the pot that I'm going to be making the chili. All right, now once the onions start looking like this, and what I mean by that is the onion starts to be soft and starts browning around the edges, now it's time to remove them from the heat and put it off to one side. We're gonna add the onions later. Okay, well the meat has been resting for about 30 minutes with the salt on it, which has pulled out the moisture from it. Now I'm gonna take some paper towels and dab it, making sure that it's all very dry before I put it on the skillet. In the pot where we took the onions out, we're gonna add some butter and prepare the green chilies. Well, they're not all green. The serranos are green, the habaneros are orange, but you know what I mean. And just as the chili pepper is starting to turn the right consistency, I'm going to go ahead and add the chopped garlic. Garlic burns so easily, so by adding it toward the end, it's a good way to keep its consistency and avoid burning. And now in the pot where we just finished cooking the chilies, we're going to go ahead and put in our pork. Now again, if this is chicken, this is where you put your chicken. If this is your beef, this is when you would put in your beef. And we want to start getting these beautiful brown bits on the meat. You'll see. All right, let's go ahead and finish preparing our chilies with our rehydrated roasted peppers in water. We're gonna add that into our blender, and also our chilies that we sauteed in butter with our tomatoes. Blend it until it's nice and smooth. And this is what I mean by browning the meat. You're gonna wait until it starts turning brown like that on those edges. That is additional flavor to your chili. Just as the meat starts turning the right color, I'm gonna go ahead and add the coriander and the cumin to it. I want to saute it with the meat just for a little bit. Oh, how beautiful that meat looks. Now, once it's starting to turn brown, now it's time to add the rest of your meat and the chili that we've just prepared. And we're gonna leave it simmering just like that. Turn the fire down to low and let it simmer for 4 hours. That's right, guys, 4 hours, no peeking. Okay, the chili is pretty watery at this point, so what we're gonna have to do is thicken it up. And what I like to use is masa or cornmeal. This adds an additional flavor to the chili. 4 hours later, and with that little slurry that I put in, this is what your chili should look like. Can you smell it? Oh my goodness. All right, now it's time to plate this bad boy. Now, some people like to add a cornmeal to this or a cornbread to this. Some people like to put chili on rice. I'm just gonna have it plain with some cheese.
So how was that? Okay, it does take a little bit long time because you have to let that meat stew and boil in the water, in the juices, in the tomatoes, not the potatoes, in the tomatoes, and all those seasonings. But hey, the end result is undeniable. You like that? This house smells amazing, by the way. You know, I'm getting complaints from the family upstairs, my family that are upstairs, and they're saying, my goodness, it smells so good. Well, now it's time for the taste test. Ready? Super hot. Look at this. Oh yeah. Oh, what? So we did a couple of things different. Well, obviously the mozzarella cheese is different. It's not cheddar cheese. We used pork instead of regular beef. And you saw how we used different chili peppers, including the Chipotle peppers, which has added a smoky smell to it, an aroma. Okay, well, hold a second. I'm gonna need another bite. This is awesome. One more, just give me 1 second, one more. All right, 4 hours, boiling on the back of the stove, a light simmer. Make sure that this meat is just butter. You put it in your mouth and it just comes apart in your mouth. It's just delicious. I can't wait for you to make this in your home. What's this gonna be good with? My goodness, a glass of beer, a family, watching the game, watching your favorite show on TV, curled up with your wife, with a big old blanket around you, maybe a fireplace. This goes with just about everything that says winter and cold and chilly, and not chilly as in this, chilly as in cold. And it's just, oh, it smells amazing. You gotta have this smokiness flavor to it because of the Chipotle peppers, and then because we thickened it with the cornmeal, the masa. You can taste the corn flavor inside the soup, inside the chili. Oh, this is gonna be amazing. Now, I made enough for like 5 people, but we don't have enough people here in the house to eat all that. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna wait till this cools down, and I'm gonna put them in little Ziploc bags, and I'm gonna freeze them in the refrigerator, and that'll keep for at least 2 weeks. So anytime I want to, I'll pull that out, put that into a bowl, microwave it, or even warm it up on the stove. What a great snack for any time I want. Look at that. Aren't you glad you tuned in today? Thanks so much for subscribing. Thanks so much for liking my videos. And if you know of anyone who would like to see a video like this, send it off to them too. Thanks so much. I'll call you. Thanks so much. I'll see you next time. And remember, mi cocina es tu cocina. Until next time.